Hello, psychology students. We are now ready to begin Unit 2. In Unit 1, you looked at the history and the foundations of psychology, and probably more times than you needed me to say, you heard me say or reference that psychology is a social science. Not an exact science, but a social science because it studies human behavior. In Unit 2, we're going to look at the actual science part, the biological basis for psychology. The first lesson is on the brain and the nervous system. And throughout this entire unit, you're going to be introduced to some pretty fascinating stories. So those stories have kind of enlightened psychologists and neuroscientists in studying how the body, the brain, the nervous system actually affects behavior. The first lesson is Unit 2.01 is on the brain and the nervous system. It is pretty tedious. You're going to have a lot of terms that you have heard before in your science classes, particularly biology. You need to take careful notes on those terms and know how they apply to the field of studying human behavior. Then lesson 2 is one of my all-time favorites. It's actually where I fell in love with psychology as a high school junior, and it's on the study of nature versus nurture. Like, what does our genetics play in the role of behavior? How does our environment and nurture play? So that is a very exciting lesson because there's a debate. There is no clear-cut answer, and you will see some important concepts that will carry on through the rest of the course in lesson 2.02. Then when we move to lesson 2.3, we're looking at a different part of the biology part with sensation and perception. You're going to look at your senses, sight, smell, taste, touch, and how the brain processes those and how we react and what the behavior is to those. And then we'll end Unit 2 with a lesson on consciousness, like sleeps and dreams and altered states. Several of you mentioned in your question that was about what are you excited to learn, or what question do you have about studying psychology. Many of you referenced dreams. And so you'll get an opportunity to explore some dream theories. Now do remember that as you looked at in Unit 1, theories are things that have not been proven. One of the things that you really need to pay attention to, make sure you're reading the feedback on any lesson that, any of your submissions that you have. The feedback that I give you is my way to teach you personally. The second thing is when there's a knowledge check with a lesson, do that knowledge check as it will prepare you for the actual task. And remember that I am always here for you, that if we need to have like a virtual meeting through Virtual, we can do that so that I can explain some things. If you have any questions or are confused about anything, just message me. But I hope you will get excited about this as we delve deeper into psychology, and especially those of you who love the science part and that connection with science, which changes so much. And one of the exciting things that you can see now is how much technology and the resources we have in studying the brain and the body have given us more insight into behavior. So I look forward to reading your assignments and working with you through Unit 2. Have a great afternoon or day.